Welcome back to Mcoc AlBundyRules. I got a tutorial for you, the Overseer tutorial. So before we get into the nitty gritty and how to use this underrated, pretty awesome little dude, oh big dude I should say, let's take a quick look at what he can do. He has some pretty underrated damage, and he has the ability to get extra different types of damage that's very unique in the game, punishing certain things like heavies and specials I will be showing that can really start stacking his damage. And he has some extremely unique, very useful utility, and this utility could be helpful in a ton of matches, kind of like this Sim Supreme right on over here. But with that being said, let me show you how to use them. Let's start with his immunities, some of the most unique utilities in the game, immunities in the game. So he is immune to nullify, fate seal, and stagger. He's also immune to poison, but the nullify, fate seal, and stagger is what makes him very unique. So you see that immune right there. Normally that would have caused a whole lot of damage on this fight, Symbiote Supreme, but instead he was immune. So especially champs like Symbiote Supreme, especially some of those nodes that punish you for having buffs or take away your buffs in fights, amazing counter right there. So kind of similar to someone like Red Guardian, who doesn't get buffs, can't be punished there, but instead Overseer can get the buffs. He just isn't going to be punished in the same way many other those buff heavy champs, like you take a Hyperion or somebody like that, or many Cosmics in some of those fights. He is going to get punished heavily. So Overseer, that immunity is huge, makes him very unique, very awesome utility. Gamma power. One opponent gains, so when the defender gains the bar of power, you get the indefinite gamma power granting the attack. So the more of those, the higher your attack goes up, and a 17 potency of the personal debuffs from specials. You get up to 6 attacks. So those are those little green thingies up there. You see the 2, you see the 3 right up there now. So each one of those, the more attack you get, and the more potency on the debuffs. And now let's get into Cosmic Mode. Alright, so Cosmic Mode, this is where you have 3 or more stacks of Gamma Power. So you're going to see 3 up and you're going to launch. Cosmic Mode lasts 3.3 seconds per Gamma Power. It's also paused during specials from Overseer or the opponent. It lasts longer as Defender. For each Gamma Power gained during Cosmic Mode, instead of you get a non-stacking Fury. So you can get Furies during Cosmic Mode when it's activated. Attack rating is going to be increased with that. Light attacks also do physical damage during Cosmic. So we see Cosmic Mode there. You see the little blue Cosmic going on up over there. So when you have 3 of those green Gamma, 3 to 6, and you launch a special, that's going to be activated. You saw it went away really quick, about 11 seconds. So now let's go with the max. This time to show you the difference between when you remember, you activate it with the special. So I don't recommend activating at 3 at the minimum unless you have to. At 6, you're going to see a massive difference, and then I'm going to show you why I don't recommend activating at the middle. So you get more. Really, between 3 to 6, you get double the amount of time off the get-go automatically. But not only is it double the amount of time, that's double the amount of ability to get those extra light hits for that extra damage, and that allows for more time to launch those specials. Keeping in mind, while the specials are going, it's going to pause the duration. So this time I got 11 seconds off of only 3. Initially, I got 33 seconds off of 6, so it makes a massive difference. Of course, it's going to vary based on special use, but you got a basic idea on the big difference there. Special concussions. Inflict an indefinite special concussion debuff. Each time that they use the special, the defender uses a special, they get a concussion debuff. You see 2 up there. Reducing a combo of 3 or more to lower amount removes 1 stack of special concussion. But basically, so what we're doing here is each one of them gets 10% ability accuracy reduction. We can get up to 7 of them, which means up to 7% decreased defensive ability accuracy. And this just increases really by itself each time they do a special. So they do a special, boom, you see nothing was triggered there in the unstoppable. Normally there would be unstoppable. If 70% isn't good enough for you, which under most circumstances it should be more than plenty, you can actually get it over 100, and I'm going to show you how to do that when combined in another rotation. Then we got our heavy attacks. This is also a nice little utility I always enjoy. Taunt. Sometimes some champs are just a little stingy on throwing their specials. So taunt for 10 seconds. Opponents that are taunted have their attack reduced and a 70% higher chance to activate the special. This does have a 20-second cooldown. So be careful when you use it. Make sure they have some power before you launch it to make sure you can taunt that out nice and easy. Then we got auto block, another nice little fun piece of utility. You're going to take some hits on purpose, gain an auto block passive. After a special, you see that little green thingy up there, looks like a perfect block green. It has a 100% chance to auto block basic attacks when struck twice. It lasts for 7 seconds or until triggered. Another big part of this is the Overseer is stun immune while auto block is active. So those stun immune, those stun nodes that can punish you for if you take too long not launching a special in time, champs, they can stun like hitting into your block, for example, like Apocalypse. It could be a very nice, useful little tidbit there, giving you some stun immunity when used correctly. Then we have special attacks. Special 1. This gives a nice 1.5 second stun debuff as we see. If you use while Cosmic Mode is activated, which I highly recommend using specials with Cosmic Mode activated, you gain a regeneration debuff, recovering 7% of missing health over 7 seconds. Potency is reduced by 10% for each bleed debuff on the Overseer. So this makes him a lot more sustainable. He already can take a pretty strong beating, rather tanky-ish, but this makes it you can keep going. You can, even with recoil, I'll use these S1s with that in order to recover damage from recoil when I'm running suicide. Special 2 inflicts a disorient debuff, reducing defensive ability accuracy by 40% and block proficiency by 50%. Ability accuracy reduces with Gamma power, skills with Gamma. Then Cosmic Mode, gain energized buff, 25% increased. Power duration, we'll see the energize, we see the disorient. You can mix the disorient along with those special concussions to shut down defensive accuracy. Special 3, inflict a physical vulnerability debuff, reducing physical resistance by 683.33 in this example for 20 seconds. So you'll see different things out of these specials. You also see different perks when you do it under Cosmic Mode. So I'm going to talk about kind of mixing them in the tips section coming up. But before we get up to the tips for use, let's show signature ability. If opponent fails due to if opponent ability fails due to the personal immunity, ability accuracy, they take burst damage, and Overseer gains a Gamma power. Additionally, striking the opponent while they are recovering from heavier specials deals that burst physical damage. This effect has a 1 second cooldown. So I really like his signature ability. In fact, I use an Awakening Gem on Overseer to get it. Well, I had like 4 or 5 Awakening Gems from Science, and I think it was well worth it. Nothing else fun to play. We found him pretty enjoyable because you get that extra damage punishing the heavies, punishing the specials, which most veteran players are going to do on the regular anyway. So that's where you get a lot of extra damage from, is punishing those. You see that retaliation coming up there. And of course, easier to gain. The Gamma power makes it very good as well, especially on champs that inflict those debuffs. We see identity disorder, scrambled personality makes them immune to reverse controls, huge for fights like Emma or some certain nodes. Great utility. Cube wielders, 50% chance to gain indefinite Gamma power when opponent launches special attack while taunted. Then we will see the Space Surfers, just a cool sounding one, Space Surfers. The energized buff from his special 2 also grants critical rating. So none of these overly dependent synergies, but some that can be very useful in various circumstances. Shield Buddies, 15% chance to gain a block that is a perfect block, reducing all damage to 0. Another one that can be rather useful. And the generic one at the end with Doom, the critical rating increase. Let's talk about the tips for use. I got 4 tips for you, so make sure you check them all. Tip 1. Take advantage of nullify, stagger, fate seal immunity against appropriate champs and nodes. This is huge. It's the only champ I can think of off the top of my head that has automatic immunity. All of those makes them an automatic counter to fights like Symbiote Supreme, those nodes where you get punished. And the fade seal on stagger, things like that. There's a lot of fights out there that punish you for that, so you're not going to get punished. We will see the fight continuing there and how that goes. Tip 2, up to 70% special concussion, and then you can also add a 40% defender ability accuracy reduction on disorient from the S2 combined. So as the fight goes on, they launch 7 specials, you got 7 special concussions, you do a special 2, you're going to be over 100%, you're going to shut down all the defensive abilities. So most of the time that 70% special concussion can be great, but if you just got to completely shut down, add an S2 there, and boom, chuckalacka, there you go. They are shut down completely, and not a lot of champs can shut him down completely like that. So this is another piece of great utility the Overseer has when used correctly. A lot of champs can't do, and that's why I like him. He does things many other champs just cannot do, or is very rare in the game, especially this combination. His utility is very unique and very useful, especially in different content and nodes Kabam loves to be introducing along the way. And we see how it's been shutting down in this fight, completely shut down Unstoppables. Tip 3, use unique ability to punish heavy and special recovery for bigger damage. It's that Retaliation. You see those nice pretty red numbers that keep popping up in addition to regular damage? It's that Retaliation. You go in and attack and you retaliate them after they miss the heavy. So bait the heavy. I recently did a video on ways how to, bait heavies or bait those specials. That is perfectly ideal to go with this because the Overseer specifically thrives in those situations. Bait those heavies, bait those specials, and punish them, retaliate with that extra damage. Tip 4, rotations. People always ask rotations. Rotation I like, get the 6 gamma power. Make sure you get the 6, longer time. You do an S3. You want to stay aggressive and you want to launch that S2, and then I like to launch an S1 too because I run Suicides, helps me recover recoil while Cosmic Mode is still up. So that's a rotation I really like, and I'll rotate through it. So we're going to see, we saw I got the 6, I did the S3, we see the Cosmic is up right now, so you got to stay aggressive to get the Cosmic going. I like to go to S2 first because as long as Cosmic is up and I do an S2, that is going to give me the Energize buff, which is going to make it easier for me to get to another bar of power before Cosmic goes away. Again, you need the 6 first, so it lasts longer. You do the 2, get the Energize. Now I can get back up to a 1 before that Cosmic runs out. So I'll go ahead and launch that 1, and that's going to give me, while Cosmic is up, some of that nice regeneration, which keeps them sustainable, especially for people like me running Suicides and a recoil. So that's a rotation I liked. Fun champ, does some great stuff, very useful, some really cool utility. Someone who's being overlooked for probably because unless they do hundreds of thousands of damage, people overlook him, but his utility and nice damage makes him a great champ. Don't forget to click that top left icon, subscribe to Mcoc, AlBundyRules, turn notifications on, check out my other champ tutorials, my other walkthroughs, all the good fun content.